I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. We're going to do a cool weekly roundup, of course, where all the numbers have gone, where we landed, where we're going. We saw some more big news around Trump winning in the Supreme Court, around all the federal judges being able to shut him down. And funnily enough, the vast majority, I think it's 80-90% of the court cases against Trump were in 5 Democrat states. So there we go. If that wasn't enough evidence for their tyranny, who knows what it will be. Now, I guess one of the big things they've got left is what they call the deep state, the administrative state there. The Democrats are trying to undermine things in that place, trying not to implement executive orders, things like that. But we shall see where it all heads. We were talking about the PulseChain bridge today, because yesterday we saw inflows, and that was really cool. Unfortunately, they've all gone. We've seen the outflows, unfortunately, overnight. So we're going to get into that, and we can see that in the chart, like the sentiment in the chart from that one indicator. So we're going to talk about that too. So we'll see whether we can get through that next week and start getting consistent net inflows. But we're going to talk about that in the chart when we get it there. Exclusive call to the Kryptonite Show. We got share the channel on X if you're over on X, just to take a second to repost. It really does help a lot. And all the influencers out there would really appreciate that. So get out there and push the repost button. We got us. What else? We got Frank White in the house there. Bang, bang, bang. PulseChain. Good to see Frank White in the house there from PLS Start. So if you haven't checked out PLS Start, definitely check that out, because that covers the PulseChain ecosystem and got a good number of projects on there. Definitely check that out. Happy weekend, bro, says Frank White. Big shout out to you as well. Happy weekend to you. Right. Where should we go? Should we get straight into it? I think we should. Let me see what I've got recaps here on the old chart. Let me just jump down here. I did cover X1. Actually, let's have a little look at our poll at the moment. We've got a couple of things actually in the lineup that I can talk about. Before we do that, though, we've got Wookie in the house there. Wookie's round up both the Knights and the Wires losses. Are you kidding me? What the heck? Wookie's round up both the Knights and the Wires loss this weekend. Oh, that's terrible. That's rugby league, if you guys aren't familiar. That's one of the 2 different rugby codes in Down Under. And those are, at least the Warriors is a top team. Knights is Brennan's team, but haven't quite been, performing up to standard. So probably not surprised there. But anyway, they did win a couple of games, didn't they, recently, the Knights? So, wow, the Warriors, that's not good for them, because they're at the top of the leaderboard, right? So let's see where that goes. Joker says, Kryptonite Show, hello, what wallet do you recommend for PulseChain? Well, I think people were pretty much finding Internet Money Wallet pretty popular. They just had some major upgrades this week as well, particularly around Chrome and connecting up to protocols. So that's probably a pretty good one. I know Pulse Wallet is out there, and it seems to be a sort of a fork of Rabby Wallet. You can use Rabby Wallet. It's a little bit clunky because they stopped dedicated support because of probably politics, and but you can do custom. You can add the blockchain on the custom side of the wallet. So there's a couple. Probably Internet Money is probably the generally preferred one at the moment, I would say. We've got Frank White in the house there. Internet Money Wallet is great. There we go. That's from Frank White. So that's a double up on that one. You can't go too wrong with the Internet Money Wallet, I would say there, the Joker. All right. Let's see here. Should we get into it? I'm mucking around. All right. So I did put a fun poll. These polls are just fun, of course. And we got one here saying Battle of the Dow poll. And we got I don't know how many total DAO tokens we have. It depends on how you define a DAO token, right? We have a lot of tokens with treasuries, but not necessarily voting, right, within the DAO, which I guess would be a defining feature. We've got, which DAO token is your favorite, PDC or the Surf? Both of them, of course, are fantastic. communities and good tokenomics. But of course, it's fun to have a poll, right? Fun to have a poll. And so get into that if you want to vote. Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze there for a moment. And yeah, you can vote on that. Let me get that out there. Bam, it's poll. Not sure what you're on about there, Rolf. You're going to have to explain the context. There's no context in your message, so if you can explain that, that'd be nice. What else there we got? Yeah, that is the poll right there. Bam. That is the poll. Get in there and vote. It's a fun poll. We do fun polls all the time, so look forward to that. All right, so let's get back out of here. And what else we got? I did this thing here. Richard Hart, the United States Hexco dollar, $100 bill. This is a cool thing that's been floating around the X, and I just thought I'd equate it to the amount of hex that's worth. So yesterday when I posted this, it was worth 19,400 hex on PulseChain and 61,700 hex on Ethereum. Now, obviously, that's not worth anything particular, but if it was worth $100, that's how much hex it would be worth, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now, what does that say? That says, well, eHex obviously can pick up a lot of eHex at the moment. So if you want to become a big eHex holder, that's kind of the natural thing to do, right? That's the natural thing to do. So that was a bit of fun there. What else did I do yesterday? Oh yeah, not PulseChain, but I did a X1 chain review. So this is Jack Levin, and he's building out this X1 chain. So it feels like it's taking forever, but it actually is a pretty impressive design. They're going to have a dynamic fee base. So you can see there, it's a fork of Solana, right? So you can see that Solana has a fixed base fee, and this is going to have a dynamic base fee. So that's kind of cool feature for the X1 chain. It's also going to have 50% burning on the dynamic fee as well. It's going to be burned, so deflationary from that point of view. So yeah, dynamic base fee, falling inflation profile, low cost, high reward validators, which is kind of a neat feature as well. That will make it a lot more accessible. So that was the first one there. There's going to be multiple rewards, validator rewards. So there's voting rewards for inflation. There's commission from delegators. So people delegate their, I think, XNT tokens into the validators. And then the block rewards from block production as well. So the block rewards from the actual block production. Got a little schema there on how it all works. We've got the inflation, internal rewards, total staking, network usage costs, and this is where you got your base fees, right, with the 50% deflation. You can see that on the right there. And block rewards, priority fees, MEV. So basically bot trades. I guess we got block production eligibility there. The amount of XNT stakes. So obviously XNT is the main fee coin everyone's going to be after. Presumably they're still going to be at 1 billion tokens, so it's going to play there. They got randomness, ACP anti-collusion protocol, so they're trying to beat out the bots, I guess, and any manipulations, performance, reputation from recorded history. I guess the longer you've been there and you've been reliable as a validator, the more I guess you'll get. And then profitability will be the costs less the total rewards from those validators, of course, which I just put up the top, those three things that I talked about being validator rewards. But let's have a look at the operational costs and profitability being a validator. Before we do that, look at inflation. So X1 inflation reduction profile. It's going to be 8%. So whatever the base amount is. Originally, they were talking about 1 billion tokens, for example. So it's going to go down from 8% down to 1.5% over 15 years, with 50% of that dynamic base fee burn, remember. So it's going to go down there, but of course they've got the dynamic burning, fee burning. So the more volume, I guess, the more burning there will be. So the more successful, I guess, it's used, generally speaking. So that is the play. And of course, a low cost and accessible validator operator. So apparently at the moment it's about $200 a day to run a validator on Solana. That will be only about $5 a day on old X1. And currently it's on testnet, right? There's a couple hundred, I think, validating on testnet at the moment. So it's 40 times cheaper to run. But of course, your rewards upside is way bigger, right? You got those 3 different reward types that we talked about up the top here. These ones here that you got potential access to. So that is the cheat. So on X1, a validator only pays for the server, so not to participate in the consensus, meaning they earn more rewards relative to the effort applied. So it's kind of a cool thing there. And then there's a lot of extra information there. So that's on my thread. You can check that out. And there's some source documents there as well, including a presentation by Axel, who happens to be Sun Tzu, if anyone knows who that is. So that is a video that he did. Very good video, but it takes a little time to play out. He has a few stops and starts, but otherwise it's a very good presentation. So you can check out that if you want more. So that is X1, kind of cool. I'll post that might as well post that link as well. So X1 breakdown. So it's a kind of a summary, really, like just a high level view that I put out. And we like to, it's crypto, right? So we like to see the latest and greatest. That's pretty much it, right? Right. So let's see here. We've got a couple more comments. We've got the Joker in the house there. What wallet do you? I think we went to that one, didn't we? Sorry, I went too far back up here. This is the one I think I was after. And which token has more earning potential in your opinion, PulseX or Inc? It's like a private show between me and Joker today. Which has more earning potential between opinion between PulseX or Inc? Well, we've seen Inc move up a lot faster. PulseX versus Pulse is definitely obviously play, but Inc seems to move up pretty aggressively. So I'd probably have to say Inc at this current time. And there's a relatively less supply. Obviously, the dollar value represents that, but we've seen that move quite aggressively. Once again, do your own financial due diligence, all that good stuff. But that is my opinion on that. All right. So yeah, let's jump away. Let's jump a bit further higher there. What else we got? I posted out about the chart, about the bridge. Like I say, 16 hours ago, we actually had reduced from 3.8 down to 2.7 million over 38 hours. So that was a nice little reduction. So it was at $1.1 million. So that was pretty cool. But unfortunately, that has reversed back. So just the way it goes sometimes. So let's have a look at the breakdown of the crypto markets. Let me just not sure which one I've got here. Let me split the studio here, and we'll get into the bigger screen, shall we? Shall we do that? I was playing around for some stuff yesterday, so I got to reset things. You know how it is. Bam. Is it the one? Is it looking good? Yeah, I think so. All right, bam. There we go. All right, so that is the CoinGecko. So we're on CoinGecko at the moment. We're at $3.419 trillion. So we're down 1.4% today. And that is where we are at the market. So we have had way more down days, subtly. Remember, there's 17,568 coins. So that's kind of reflecting that total market. But Bitcoin itself is looking really, really good. So Bitcoin there, $107,373 is up 0.3% at the moment. It's looking very strong, holding over 100K very, very nicely and getting ready for that next big move, right? Probably big move towards like 120, 130K kind of thing. So I don't know if this, we'll see a 10K candle or something like that. I know it's coming up. Ethereum at the moment, up 0.6%, $2,441. We've seen obviously the XRP there up 2.1% at $2.18. BNB up 0.5% as well, 649. And Solana, which I called out yesterday, remember that? I called that out. That is up 6.3% today at $151. Really feel like Solana's going to make a bit of a run now, and called that yesterday. So that was kind of cool. Tron at the moment, number 8, is up 0.4%, 27.4 cents. And Dogecoin at 1.7%, 16.4 cents. Those are our top 10 along with Lido there as well. Cardano, ADA, that is obviously been pushed out of the top 10, and that is also not far ahead of Hyperliquid, which has been a very good performer, right? Hyperliquid, which is up 3.6%. And then number 15 is Bitcoin Cash. So one of the old schools, which is pretty cool. All right, so that is the play in the top performers. Out of that is Solana, right? Out of the top 10 over the last 24 hours. Over the last week, the best performer is still Solana, up 12.7%. And of course, half of that today, right? Half of that today. So Solana a bit on the move. So there we go. But Bitcoin is up 5.5% this week, and Ethereum up 6.7%. So just slowly starting to creep up there. Ethereum, of course, not quite at the golden cross yet. So I haven't got the chart up here at the moment, but that is probably something that's coming up for sure. In fact, I don't have Trading View up, so let me pull that up. Bam. And let's bring that over. So Trading View at the moment, that is our chart. This is our map. You guys know we've been mapping it out, and we've got the big tax bill coming up for next week. So final Senate vote, I believe, is tonight. It may have already happened. I think we're going to have a Senate vote, and then it's going to go back potentially to the House, I think it is, for any fine, like if there's any differences to eke that out. And then once that's confirmed, I think then it goes to the House and the Senate for voting. final voting, is the way I understand it. And once it does that, then it will go to the President of the United States, assuming it passes, right? Which we obviously think it's going to pass. And so that would be by the 4th of July. So we're ticking very, very close to that. Very close indeed to that. And it's only a couple of days away, right? Four days or something. So ticking away there. And that is a ginormous piece of, that is a massive part of Trump's agenda. And of course, setting up for the Trump's golden age of America. It's going to have, obviously, Trump's 2017, I think, tax extensions, obviously lower taxes and avoiding something like, effectively, Trump was said a 68% jump in tax if it didn't happen, which would be a pretty big disaster. And so it's going to have tax extension, tax cuts, and it's going to have no tips on overtime, no tips on no tax on overtime, and no tax on tips, which would be pretty popular in America. We don't really have a lot of that tipping in New Zealand, and I don't know if Australia has much either. It's not really. I think it'd be a very rare event to be paying for tips. But as I understand it, actually, like if let's just use a common example, a waitress or a waiter, you get maybe 40%, half your income will be tips. Is that about right? Let me know if you're in America. Let me know if that assessment is correct, because obviously I'm not in America. So yeah, Brian's in house. Hey, Brian, good to see you, Brian. Brian's in New York. He would know about tipping. Let us know, Brian. I just put up some questions to our American friends about tipping. What would it be? So if you, I don't know what a waiter or waitress earns, but if it's it's $300, is it they getting as half of that made up of tips? So they're getting 150 from the boss and then 150 from the customers, or is it something more like 70-30, where the boss paying like 70% and they get 30%? Anyway, they're going to get no tax on tips apparently, so that's going to be very popular, especially in all the rural towns in America where they got those little restaurants. We got just back from Canada, eh? No way. They let you back in. They let you back in, Brian. When they found out you're not really liberal, I thought you would have been arrested, put in a gulag, put in a Marxist gulag. But you survived. Hedgehog's in the house. So good to see you, Hedgehog. Big shout out to you. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button or follow button if you're on YouTube. We're streaming to 4 different channels, so definitely smash those, the follow button, and share the channels around. It really helps a lot. Brian says, not sure, but in the 90s, my girlfriend only got like $2 an hour and the rest in tips. Yeah, maybe things have changed a little bit since then. I don't know. What's the minimum wage in America? I know I think Trump was being pressured to put the minimum wage up to $15. Is that right? So if it's not $15, if it's $14 or something, that is pretty low. But you're telling me you haven't had a conversation with you haven't been to a restaurant since the 90s? Oh, what's going on there, Brian? You went to Canada, eh? Hey, to all the Canadians out there, we feel sorry that unfortunately the Liberals rigged the election again, and they got back in. But yeah, God help us. We say, God help us. These people. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment. I'm surprised to only get one reply there, and that's from Brian. So we got the trade deals coming in. So we got the 90-day extension finishing on the 8th. We're expecting that to be extended again. However, we are expecting a lot of trade deals to be done at that point, and so we should get quite a few big announcements there. Brian said the federal minimum wage is $7.25. Yeah. That's truly a capitalist society there, Brian. That's pretty low, isn't it? That's pretty low. So yeah, you definitely want a lot of tips. You definitely want a lot of tips there. Brian says, but states have their own minimum wage, and they very great. Okay, is that in addition to the minimum federal one? So is it a plus? Is it additive, or is it just they set up they can override the federal and have their own one? I don't know. If it's I guess it could be larger. Is it just a greater than, equal to, or greater than? All right, so we got trade deal there. We're expecting a lot of trade deals coming in from about the 8th and 9th, somewhere around there. So Trump's going to have, he's a TV guy, right? So he's going to have the big tax bill. He's going to have, we just saw the victory against against all the federal judges with the Supreme Court, and that's definitely going to help a lot. And then, of course, unleash a lot of his policies, which have been, hamstrung by those court cases. And so then we got the 8th and 9th, we got the trade deals coming, and then the interest rates cuts. Now, We may not very well have interest rate cuts on the 30th, so it may end up being August, because I think the 30th meeting is a little bit of a just a bit of a get together. So we may not actually get the interest rates until the August meeting. So that's very important. That's a little change from what I was saying the other day. But we are up at about, I think we're up at about 20 something percent, 25% expectation of a rate cut. But I don't think we'll get the rate cuts to August now. So that's that might be the altcoin season trigger. It's ridiculously high, right? I mean, you're talking about inflation around 2.4%, core PCE or inflation at 2.5, and the federal funds rate is at 4.5. It's only politics being played here. Kamala, when leading into the election, Jerome Powell did a 1 percentage point cut, 5.5 to 4.5, and look, here we are now in what time is it? We're now in June, the end of June, and no rate cuts. And there's the differential between interest rates and inflation is ridiculous. And of course, all he's citing is tariff volatility and expectations. Well, he could lower rates and then raise rates later on, right? So that is the line. So it's just politics being played. We did see that the Jerome Powell in his speeches was supporting all these radical Democrat policies in the universities and things like that. So it's just politics, and hopefully Trump will get him rolled and roll them from within, and then get new appointees in the Federal Reserve. It's sad to see that it's not being held independent, and this rate should definitely be down. So what should the rates be? Normally the rates should be closer to 1-to-1. So let's say the rates should be down from 4.5 down to maybe 2.5%. And even if you didn't want to go that far, you could go down to 3%. And if inflation did rear its ugly head, which we think that's going to be disappearing under Trump, because Trump is opening up the supply side of the economy, right? There's going to be a big boom from that point of view, and that is going to give capacity, and therefore more supply versus demand, which will also rise. We shall see a non-inflationary environment. So it should be pretty good. At the moment, we've kind of got this sort of stagflation type of environment at the moment. So that's kind of where we are. So yeah, trade deals, and then mid August we got the China deal, but it looks like China's pretty much being done. We got the rare earths deal, all that sort of stuff's been written up, and I think the games are going to end, and we'll get a proper deal done. And so not too worried about the China tariffs. And then of course deregulation leverage, that's going to take time. That's one of those things that just happens in increments, and we know we've got big stuff coming for crypto around September, October. With a number of policies happening there. At the moment, of course, we've had the Genesis Act and another act which just skips my mind at the moment. But those are sort of processing around the stable coins. So we'll see how that all processes as well. So that is pretty much it. Let's go to Ethereum, because we've got the golden cross on Ethereum, right? Actually, let's go to Ethereum. And Ethereum is still got the scat, right? So we got the yellow line, which is the 50-day moving average, and the orange line, which is the 200-day moving average. At the moment, we've been in a death cross, right, for some time. Death cross since the 14th of February. And we're heading in the right direction. We get a gold. We just got this. I think this is pent up pressure to the upside. So I think it's going to be pretty violent to the upside, just like we saw this little violent candles here for a couple of days. We are almost at this crossroads. The gap at the moment between the 50-day and the 200-day is about $45? Yeah, $45 almost. That's about $43 gap. And so we're not too far away. We just need some more green candles like this, and away we go, right? So we're getting there. And that golden cross is going to be, I think, ferocious to the upside on the Ethereum. So this green line up here is the magic upright. That's where Richard Hart's ETH, it's the third biggest wallet in the ETH strategic reserve, the PulseChain sacrifice, or the PulseChain strategic reserve, as we like to call it. Sounds much better. That's up here. So that is how far we have to go. At the moment, we're well under the money, right? Well out of the money on that. And we need a 55% move in Ethereum to get the money back. Right? So 55% move is what we need. So if we look at the other way, we're still down, right? We're still down on 35%. So we need a nice 55% move to offset our 35% down in value. So bring that on. So that's kind of the play there, looking very, very good at the moment. And so we could reasonably get a pretty strong re-rate. So that is Ethereum, and that golden cross not too far away. Now, In the top 100, let's see who the best performers. So we've still got Say there doing pretty well, 36% for the week, down 1.3% today. We've got SPX 6900, which has been a pretty good performer over the last several weeks. That's up 27.8%, and Jupiter up 27% as well. So we do have some good movers in the last week in the top 100 coins. We've got Fartcoin up 26% and Sonic Chain up 21.7%. So not bad there. In fact, we've got quite a few decents, up in the top 100. We've got Quant as well, Casper, Aptos, Stacks up 15.9%. So it's actually quite a few nice little gainers doing double-digit growth. In fact, how many are over 10%? We've got 62 Sky. So Sky is Make a DAO, right? So that's Sky. Federal Protocol. We've got quite a few AI kind of things in there. A few DeFi's, Chainlink, Oracle, Hyperliquid trading, all that sort of stuff. So there's quite a bit of a mixture in there. But yeah, there's not too bad over last week, right? That's not too bad. But we want to get that stuff happening every day, right? We want to get sort of altcoin season where we get nice but double-digit gains every day. All right. Brian says, what? My mistake. Many states are $7.25 and some are higher, or much higher. Yeah. It's pretty low, $7.25. You'd have to get quite a bit of tips, Brian. You'd have to get quite a bit of tips, wouldn't you? $7.25. That's even in US dollars terms, that seems low. Blair's in the house there. Hi all. Good to see you, Blair. Big shout out. All right, so that is the play there on the top 100 over the last week. So those are the top performers. In terms of top gainers, in the top 1,000, we've got Hossico Cat up 48%, and Circa up 46%, and Launchcoin on Believe, which we saw, I think saw the other day, not me, up 35%. So let's have a quick look at Hossico Cat. Looks like some sort of meme, I guess. How long has it been around for? Well, only 28th of April, so only a few months. It hasn't been around long at all. So 3 months? It's up on every time frame there. And Hossico Cats, it looks like just a meme coin, doesn't it? It's on Solana. We've seen a lot of BSC coins be the top ones lately, haven't we? So that is on Solana there. Hossico Cat. What rank was it actually? It was ranked 954, so it's only just into the 1,000, and it's only just got there with a 46% pump from the looks of it. So that is entered there. Congratulations to Hossico Cat on Solana. A Zirkit, is it? This has been around since the 26th of November last year, so it's relatively new as well. What's it, about 7 months? And that is ranked 601. It is up 46%. What does it say there? Zirkit is an AI-powered blockchain for secure automated finance. As a full EVM-compatible zero-knowledge roll-up, Zirkit combines advanced AI, zero-knowledge proofs, and robust infrastructure to deliver unmatched safety, performance, and scalability. So that's got some protection from an AI models around sequencing, and it's designed for internet scale application. It's also got obviously lower gas fees and boosts transaction speeds, and so unlocks the full potential of Web3. So there he is. That's from Zirkit. Let me know in the chat there if anyone's playing around on that. The Zirkit blockchain. Zirkit is AI powered blockchain. And there we go. Kind of like the little animations protected by AI. There's a lot of projects that are on there, so that might be something that people might want to check out, be out of interest. But that's up quite nicely today. Ethereum compatible as well. So Pure UX, user experience and performance. So that there is from them. They got staking, bridge, explorer, etc. So there we go. That is it, and liquidity hub as well. So that is Zirkit, and our final one that's top gainers is a Launchcoin on Believe, which I thought we had seen before recently. So this is Ben Pasernak's has been rebranded to Launchcoin on Believe. Okay, this is ranked number 399, so it's actually not badly, fairly high up. It's only been around since January 24. Got some weird chart profiles, so you definitely want to wonder what's going on there. And then of course it's 11.6 cents at the moment, been high at just over 30 cents. So that is that. What does it say? Launchcoin tokens can be traded there. So it's got a website. It's on Solana as well. So once again, be cautious there. But Solana's a bit on the move, right? We saw Solana pick up, and just looked like it was going to pick up yesterday, and it did indeed. So it's up 6% on Solana. So those are the top gainers trending at the moment. Toncoin, Telegram's been trending quite a bit, right? We've been noticing that. Notcoin as well trending, and Pudgy Penguins as well. So if you got some Pudgy Penguins, Congratulations. So that is pretty much the overall market cap. 1.4% down, 3.419 trillion, 17,568 coins. Bitcoin, however, is looking very good indeed. And we're sitting there at 107,373, standing over 100K. Very important. So kind of cool. Everything looking pretty good. That's going to lead us, I guess, into PulseChain, Pulse Gains. Do we like that? PulseChain, Pulse Gains. Brian's got the link here. Minimum wage by state. Okay. Well, might pick that up. It's pretty interesting. All right, so we got GoPulse. Let's have a look here. So day 779 since PulseChain launched on the 13th of May 2023. Now we're going to do 24-hour and a 7-day because we're doing a weekly review recap. So let's see where we are there. We've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0227, down 5%. And of course, that fits with the bridge, right? So the bridge reversal, we said reversal after reversal, not quite getting there yet. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0191, down 5.8%. Incentive token only down 2.24%, pretty interesting. So not down as much as one would think. And then we've got Hex at the moment, 5100 of a penny, down 1.5%. Hex actually looking pretty good. And the Hex at 1600 of a penny. Now, obviously, with those at the moment, you can pick up a lot of Hex for relatively low price. So, think about scooping some of that up. Obviously not financial advice, do your own due diligence, but that's looking pretty good. And there we go. So what else are we going to say about that? The buy and burn on PulseX, 1.44 trillion, excluding the OA sacrifice wallets. So that's up. It's now 7.29% has been bought up and burned, which is a pretty decent amount if you think about it. Remember, that is deflationary, so it's never coming back. Pulse, of course, has inflation. It's relatively modest. I think it's about a third of a percent. I think it is. I think it's about a 3% on the inflation a year. I have to double check that, but I think that's the case. So we're actually, a relatively low inflation environment, and Signum tokens a relatively low inflation environment too. Richard Art cut that 20x or so, and that is down at 2,600 ink per day. So it's pretty low. So actually, we're in these tokens are pretty low inflation mechanics. Hex, of course, has got also its inflation cut right by the OA sacrifice wallets staking with the big ladder stakes, and that has lowered the payouts, which were about 7.6 down to about 1.6 or something like that. And so that's been dramatically lowered. So we're in a pretty low inflation environment, and it does appear that the OA sacrifice wallets do act as a regulator. Boo, the regulators. Jerome Powell is running the OA sacrifice wallets. All right, so that's a joke. But anyway, that's it for the 24 hours. Let's see how we got on the last week. We got Pulse down 6.2% for the last week. PulseX down 3.9%. And Signum token down 4.5%. And Hex is actually up over the last week. So yeah, that's why Hex is kind of looking a little tasty, right? A little tasty. Pick it up while you can, maybe. 7 days there is looking pretty good. So that is our weekly review. That was pretty quick. Let's have a look at the 30-day to see where we are. Yeah, we're still down pretty significant over 30 days. 36% down on Pulse, almost 40% on PulseX, 13.4% on Incentive token. Ching ching, looking pretty good there. So that was a good call. Hex there is at half a penny, down 26%. So yeah, only Incentive token kind of doing pretty well there. Should we go for 90 days? Let's do all the time frames. 90 days, we're up. You're doing better than a bank. You're doing better than a bank. We're up 11% on Pulse over the last 90 days. PulseX at the moment up 6.7%. And Ink token is up 17.6%. So there we go. That was a good call on my part there. And Hex there is actually down 0.3%. But actually, I think Hex is a little bit of a tasty pickup. A little tasty pickup there. Should we do all-time low? Should we do it? Can't look. So we got 14.2% on Pulse. Yay! we got PulseX at 115%, and Ink token is up 250%, and Hex is up 40% there. So there we go. That is the play. All right, let's go to the gas prices. We got 1.125 million beats, so 1 cent for a PulseX swap. Not too bad. Validus, 50,630. Boy, this is a big jump. So remember, we got down to 50,172 or something like that. And then we went over 50,200 something yesterday. I think we're up about 400 Validus, if I remember rightly, today. So that's good news. Up 400, if I remember my numbers correctly. and then the bridge, which is the big one, right? This is the heart and soul and the meat and potatoes, or whatever you want to say. I just say this stuff because it sounds funny. But we're at $82.1 million. So we're down from yesterday. We're at 83, we're 83.2. So I think we're down quite a bit there. And of course, that reflects, EHEX down in there, right? We've got EHEX. I wish EHEX wasn't really in the list. I know it's bridged over, but I wish it wasn't in the list here. And we've got USDC, ETH, and DAI there at the moment. Now, I do have my snapshot from the 3rd, as you guys know, but I'm not going to read through all that. But what we will do is we will go to the bridge update. And, yesterday I had a good story to tell. Obviously, I don't know the future, but we try to use probability as best we can in the sort of a quasi-evidential based subjective whatever. But we're here. We've come off the bottom. We were down 3.8. We were down 3.8, and we were riding all yesterday, and I was excited about that. I knew that we could always reverse, of course, but we're hoping for the best with the big tax bill that hasn't been passed yet. Hopefully, it's gone through now, or we're talking, or in a couple of hours from now. Probably a couple of hours from now is my guess, and so on. So we're at 2.7 million down. And then, unfortunately, boo-hoo-hoo, over the last 12 hours or something, we've seen money leave. See these big red candles here? So we had good money coming in, look. So we had that terrible one here with 727K leave. And then we started having some green candles, green candles. We had a couple 100,000 at a time coming in to, what was that, 229, 100, 230. So 164 coming in, all that green stuff. That was really cool. And so we were going back down, right? We're heading back towards, having more money come into the bridge. So we're replacing all this yellow areas money that's left the bridge. It's based on timestamps. Just remember that. So they're all at every individual hour timestamps. So it doesn't reflect dynamic pricing. And we were coming back here. We got all the way back to where we were, right? We got all the way back to where we were before these big people that left. And then we're back down, which I think is possibly the PulseX guy. But then we still had nice little inflows over the last 12 hours, 180K, 193. There's all in just a couple of hours in the last couple of hours. 134, this is just the last couple of hours, like maybe only 2 hours ago or something. But unfortunately, we had big amounts leave. So we had this 544, which may be related to the same guy over here, the 727. I don't know. I haven't checked that or anything. We know that the third biggest PulseX guy was selling, right? He was almost out of his dollar wallet, but his parent wallet was still pretty, still huge, $11 million or something like that. And so we've got this one here, negative 366 as well. So we had two big moves out there, and a decent another one here, 137. So that's just in the last few hours, over the last 12 hours. And that has pushed us all the way back down again, down to the negative 3.4 on timestamp values. So that's kind of where we are on that. So that is the latest and greatest. So we're wanting to get a reversal, right? This kind of reversal where we go back up. That means we're offsetting all the money that went back out, and hopefully we'll flip this, right? This yellow area will flip, and we'll go over to the top area. And I don't know. Should I do green? I know I've already got green, but should I do green for that? I should have done orange for the bottom, and then done yellow for the top. But I've kind of been doing yellow all the time. But that is kind of cool because it looks so good. But that is pretty much it. That is exclusive to the Crypto Night Show. Hope you guys enjoy that. All right, that's pretty much it on the market. Let's jump over to the volume. Now, the good news is the volume is up dramatically from yesterday. We're at $21 million. Isn't that awesome? $21 million. We're at 377,000 in terms of transactions, which is pretty good. We've got some new entrances into the top tokens. Now, obviously, not financial advice. I'm just going through the default view. So what we're looking at is the 24-hour default view on Dex Screener that I have. And so it's actually 6 hours, but I turn it into 24. Okay, so it's actually 6 hours. I flip it to 24. And so we're going to go through that. Before we do that, we've got a couple of comments in the chat. We've got Brendan House there. In July, we fly. Yes, July is going to have so much good news. So yeah, maybe we'll just get rid of this June period and we can start getting those capital flows, start getting green candles, and away it goes. Obviously, green candles bring in capital, and we'll see it happen pretty quick. You can see on that bridge chart, if we get a sentiment change, things will really start to rock and roll. Maybe we'll have some of these whales stop dumping or start sending it over. Now, they do relativity plays, right? So they may be bridging out from PulseChain, going into like Solana or ETH or something, or maybe they're buying a Ferrari. I don't know. You decide. You decide. All We got Hexavader in house there. Hey gang, good to see Hexavader. Big shout out to you. Now Hexavader's working hard. He's going to be enjoying the big tax bill, the beautiful big tax bill. It's the way it goes. He's going to have a good time. Paul C in the house there. Love your show. Through good and bad, you're always up front. Front up. Appreciate that, Paul. Big shout out. Yeah, that's right. We're here during the good times and the bad times. No matter what happens. 6 years, man. 6 years. It's been going good. Brian says in August we hit the NOS. You have to explain what the NOS is there. I'm not quite sure what the acronym is. Brian. All right. So let's jump over here. We got a couple of new tokens trending up 950% is PDI Incentivizer. I'm not sure who set that up actually. It's got 73k liquidity and 90k volume. So we obviously a couple of these. Let's have a quick look at this. Not endorsing this in any way because I haven't really checked it out. I've been busy there, but had a big rally. It's been rolled over. It's currently at 23 cents. So we'll see where it goes to. Had a high of about 38 cents from the looks of it. What does it say? No description about it. No socials on that one. So I'm not sure who's running that. It's playing on the PDI thing. Nitrous oxide. Okay, thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. What else there? Oh, let me jump away there. So we're going to go into besties. A new one, PDI besties. Someone's launching all these PDI tokens. 57k liquidity, and we're at 17 cents on this one. So PDI besties. So we've got to look at that. It does have a Telegram group. It's holding up at 17 cents. Not really a lot happening there. Not a lot of volume. It has had a volume, but it's 73k volume. So that's pushed it up 680%. Does that have any other descriptions? The Council of PDI Besties reward BFF to holders, part of the PDI riders ecosystem that will succeed with PDI. So that's the gambit there. I'm not sure who's running that though. Let us know in the chat there. Maybe it's some well-known people that we know. Brennan says, have you ever watched Fast and the Furious? I have watched a few of them. It's in like 8 movies or something. I have watched a little bit of the first ones, maybe. Not too much of all the last ones. That's what I'm saying, says Brian. Nitrous oxide, yeah. All right, so a Tropa at the moment. Tropa there is 10%, up 10%. And that is James Maria. That's doing pretty well. Teddy Bear Takeover is up 10%. This is the one that's had a massive sell-off, so it's up 10% a little bit there. Nice to see that on a recovery. Your Mum, which had the big burn. There's a lot of Moon King ones, so it supported Moon King ones. 5.6% there. UFO is up 5.5% there. Love.io from Anders, up 4.4%. BFF is up 3.9%. I think that's Finvestor. Yeah, that's Finvestor or OG WebChef. What else there? Sparta, Wendy's for Tendies is the OG, Hex OG for this one. Up 2.9% there, and PDC up a little bit there. So we have got a little bit with the Dow token, PDC, and UFO. What else? Yeah, that's all pretty much dominating. So yeah, Pump Tires just makes it, guys. It just makes it into the slightly positive there. Pump Tires is at 6200th of a penny. And that's pretty much it. And everything else is slightly out of the money but it's probably up relative to Pulse, right? If Pulse is down a few percentage points, then these are all up on the ratios if they've got Pulse pairs, right? But a lot of these don't have Pulse pairs. There's no these thing here. X does. It's up down 1.3%. So a couple of these are up versus Pulse. So it looks like Trump's up slightly. Lone token, PDC, of course. Die Hard looks like it's up a bit. Firewell. So yeah, we've got a couple of those, but not a lot of action at the moment. You can get SolidX at $8, and that is going to be one of the big surprises to the upside once Firewell gets his license and launches all that stuff. 4 products are expected to come down the line there. People talking about Incentive Token, that's sitting there too, down 3%. Hex, of course, down 2.9%. So any of these ones, I guess, above X, are slightly up on the ratio if they've got a Pulse pair. On Pulse, where Pulse was. What else have we got there? Just scrolling down through some of these. ALGO there, down 2.7. We've got a few OG WebChef tokens. Most token from Pump Tires. Pump Tire Die is down 3.4%. Source on Minimil, down 3.5%. So yeah, these big Magnificent 7, as I call them, actually look at a lot of these SolidX ones are just slightly below $8. So these are all, my Magnificent 7, which are the Richard Hart 4 cores on PulseChain. And then, of course, SolidX, PDC, and Swords on Minimil. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. What else? everything else is pretty much down, isn't it? So let's go to the bottom, shall we? We've got Hex Lotto there. That's down there. People were trying to, play that. I'm not sure. It seems to be okay from what I've heard, but I haven't really checked. We've got Sea Compound, which was actually our top performer. Remember the other day? It was the number one performer. It's now number 96, down 19%. Beast is down. It was doing pretty well yesterday or the day before. That's down 40% as well. Gas Money. A lot of OG Web Chefs down here at the bottom. And then Gophers, the 404 contract. So what's the most popular 404s? I guess Gophers and 404 Mon. Probably the most two big ones there. It's down 8% at the moment. $93. Can you believe it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it on our list. Shall we go have a look at Pulse Coin List? Let's do that while we're here. In fact, we might go full screen mode on that. Let's have a look. So let's have a look down here. And we can see that PDI, is at 0.37, up 8, almost 90% for the week. So it's pretty good performer, up 10-11% today, still on the rise there. And we are hoping to have an interview with Nikki from Better Bank. So keep a look out for that. Look, yeah, it looks like we got up to 37. What time frame is this on? 15 minutes. Let me go to the daily, sorry. So yeah, we had a big spike yesterday. Look at that. Woo! We got it all the way up to 0.4 of a penny on the old PDI. So congratulations if you picked up PDI. If you're in our strategy club or in our Discord, you would have been picking up a lot of PDI. A lot of PDI on the down low. It's like a wounded deer, right? Pick that up. Now, if you guys haven't joined Strategy Club, the link is in the video description. Only $35 a month. Well worth getting in there. We have lots of updates, including monthly reports, a lot of daily or regular intel about different things, PulseChain, non-PulseChain stuff. We also obviously have a top 10 list in there. So if you're after top 10, and you can check that out. We also have strategy chat discussions and a lot more on there. So definitely join up to that. Only $35 a month. Fantastic value. And links in the video description for that. And of course, if you want to become a community member, it's only $12.50 to join up to Discord and the Strategy Club. That's inclusive, right? So kind of cool. We also have the Telegram groups, which are free, so you can join up to our Telegram group. We've got tons of influencers and founders in that group. So yeah, it's a great place to meet some of the movers and shakers, creating value on PulseChain. Definitely check that out as well on Telegram. Not bad. The Kryptonite Show. Obviously, the Monster Thread, of course. So the weekly news item also comes out from the Kryptonite Show as well. And we've got more publications coming in the future. So look forward to that. That's going to be pretty awesome. All right, we got Brennan says PDI is on the move. It definitely is. The chart's self-evident in front of us. What else? We got Mikey in the house. Was it Hexvader says I drink NOS with the dinner. Oh my god, you guys are crazy in there. Right, I think the Kryptonite Show's got the craziest mods out there. That's the truth. All right, so that's kind of cool. PDI looking pretty good, and I think there's going to be a lot of catalysts for that to the upside, especially with modified Aave forks like Better Bank coming. That's going to be pretty exciting. Wrap Bitcoin, as you guys know, I've been following that narrative quite closely. $484, up 43% for the week, 9.5% today. That's at $485. It's going to be interesting to see how high that goes through the bull market. I think it's going to go pretty high. It's going to be pretty crazy. Yeah, let's see if we can get it included in Better Bank as well. That's going to be fun. Atropa, of course, been up pretty well, 77% for the week. PDI up 88% for the week. Wrap Bitcoin 43%. Atropa up 77%. A beer, good old beer with Atropa up 57% for the week. Not doing too much today. Teddy Bear up nicely. USDC coin, another P fork, right? 73% for the week. Pretty good. Treasury bill related to what's the XUSDT? What's that say? XUSDC? Is it XUSDT? Oh, I've forgotten. Damn it. Anyway, that's up 56%. And we got we got an OG Web Chef, not too bad, 121%. We got BFF up 123%. That's a pretty nice gain for BFF. Tether, of course, the other stablecoin. So we got PDI up the top here. We got USDC here. These are all PulseChain forks, up 73%. And then we got Tether as well, the PulseChain fork, up 72% as well, sitting at 21. And they're the same price, USDC and Tether there. I wonder if they're going to have a bit of a law of convergence. What do you guys reckon? Will there be a bit of a law of convergence where they try to catch up the PDI eventually? We shall see. They've kind of done it before, haven't they? Anyway, we got a couple others. Let's have a look. I'm not even sure what this one is. What is this one? What is this one called? It doesn't even have a name, but two. That is up 89%. So I'm not sure who's running that, but that is up 89% for the week. Anyway, let's scroll down a little bit there. Let me know anyone in the chat that's familiar with that too. What else? Let's jump up here. Go Pulse up 32% for the week, 11.27 cents. Not too bad. Not too bad. What else? Liquid Staked ETH. So now we talked about that a little bit. Staked ETH. Some of these hybrids, 39% for the week. Not bad. In the know, G Baby is up 90% for the week at $4.11. Let's have a look at that chart quickly. The G Baby. It's always on 15 minutes, so I have to switch it over to daily. It's an odd view there, but anyway, that's been pumping. Look at that thing been pumping there. We got it's right off the bottom though. Just look at that. Oh boy, that's a crazy chart. But there we are, right off the bottom, $4.11 though. G Baby. So that's some of the cool ones there. We're just going down though on the top 100 here on the PulseChain list. Slightly different setup to Dick Screener, right? What else we got there? Pulse Dodge. Pulse Dodge doing pretty well there. So Pulse Dodge coin there. Now, Fat Sammy's been doing a lot of great things, kind of fixing up the old Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Dodge tokenomics and ecosystem, and that's moving forward. So we're going to keep a track of that. We've got Affection as well, up 75%, 31/100th of a penny. So that's pretty good for the week. Those are weekly yields. Aave token up 50% as well. Whoa, 21 cents. So Aave token moving up there on the back as well. Oh, XUSD. Now, that's the one I was thinking of before, right? I just got my all the stable coins mixed up. But XUSD, they're from KD and the XUSD team. It's up 39% there at 0.3 of a penny after all that, the close down of, largely the close down of PDI Maker, right? PulseChain, what the fudge? PulseChain is up 84% as well, 23% today. Might be interesting to check that one out, see what's going on there. Diatomic, DYT, is up 33% for the week. Love is up 70% as well. So that's from Anders. That seems to be pretty resilient. And of course, got the Luffy.com site feeding it a little bit. Matrix Die is up 97%. Brennan, you familiar with Matrix Die? Let us know in the chat. And then Pulse Lotto down 75% there. James Cook, they're trying to wipe James Cook off our schools in New Zealand at the moment. We've got all these Marxist radicals trying to wreck our society and pull down our history and make up some fantasy. We've got that going on, so that's dear to my heart there. What else there? We've got Down Token, 73% up there at the moment, and then this Gobbledygook one here up 38%. We got DWB, that's how I'm going to say it, is up 18% as well. Pepe up 18%, 16%. It'll be interesting to see whether Pepe really moves on there, so it might be worth looking at. Pick up a little bit of that stuff while it's super cheap. Not a lot of liquidity on it and stuff, or volume. Oh, it's decent liquidity, but not a lot of volume on it. It might be a good pickup, possibly. We've got Eli Porter, 41% there. Pax Dollar, USDP is up 40% as well. And they call them dollars, but they're not even close to a dollar, right? It's just kind of the funny part of it. And then finally, Bancor Network is up 45%. So, yeah, there's a few there that probably worth investigating for a little old pickup there. Might end up doing well. Once again, do your due diligence, all that good stuff. Let's see what else. We've got comments in the chat. Should we go check out some of those? Brian says, Kryptonite Mods, KATN, kick ass, take names. Yeah, nice. Is that movie? What's the movie with the father and the daughter? They're superheroes. I just can't remember that either. But that was a pretty fun movie, actually. What else? Baby, was it G Baby? G Baby is part of a Troper web. Okay, cool. That explains a lot. Thanks, Brennan. Appreciate that. Not sure of Matrix Die. Maybe somebody else. Yeah, there's a couple there worth looking at, though, right, Brennan? Definitely a couple worth looking at there. All right. So that is pretty much it on the markets there. Now, Richard Hart, of course, has been talking about a lot of stuff. So let's quickly go look at Richard Hart and find his stuff, because I think I had him up here. And yeah, obviously, a lot of people have been talking about, his workouts. But beyond his workouts, obviously, a lot of global direct mail marketing. And of course, SJ Wild had a big stream there yesterday with the Hexkins fortnightly hangout, talking about that. So you can check out that stuff. Richard Hart talking about these digital electronic free electronic devices, gift one per household with disposable income. Yeah, well, obviously, it's, you can give them to people without them, but it helps if they can actually do some buying power, right? So that is cheaper than bulk mail. Now's your time to shine, keyboard warriors. Brainstorm. Seems like the USA is vastly more affordable to mail than elsewhere. Well, that's probably not surprising, to be honest. They have really led the frontier of mail delivery service with the automations and the. If you guys have ever seen those documentaries with like UPS and all that, with their delivery stations, a very high tech system. Pretty impressive. Geniuses. I don't know. It feels a little condescending. A free physical electronic gift that in a bubble envelope weighs 65 grams and is 19 centimeters by 15 centimeters by 8.86 millimeters, and freedom units that's 2.29 ounces, 7.5 inch long, and 5.9 inch wide, and 0.35 inch thick. And yes, CR2025 battery is screwed in for safety. If your answer isn't about physical distribution, you're not a genius. There we go. Pro tip: did you notice the part where it said cheaper than bulk mail? Amazon, for instance, wouldn't work because they cost to get people to know how they could claim would likely equal the cost of just mailing in the first place. So Fast Abdul says lithium batteries kill cheap marketing mail. Without them, you'd be under 40 cents to America, Britain, Canada, Australia. But with them pre-installed, here's your best option. So there's got a few options there. So that is some of the stuff there. Who's posted this? I drive over 100 miles a day making deliveries. They throw in free promo merchandise in the bags for customers. That's from DJ Paulie Woods. It's a pretty cool, badass little car, isn't it? With the old Pulse 6 and KSB TV. Is Crypto Sparbook, they still doing TV? This must be an old image. I didn't think they were doing TV anymore, but I could be wrong. So that is from him. What else did we get there? Some random ideas. Free item on what we got there. Yeah, so free item on Amazon that people can add to their order if they're already ordering stuff. How enforce one per house. Physically giving away at rich people entrances to toll roads or other natural delays like lights. Add-ons to other deliveries like food, taxis, or travel might be an angle, but just going door to door like trick or treating might bang too. So there's a few there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've got lots of theories about the devices. My understanding was that like hard wallets and things don't have those type of lithium batteries. Brennan says geniuses. Aren't we referred to cell pressure? yeah. But that's going on there at the moment. So pretty exciting. It's good to see Richard doing such a big enterprise, and of course this is consistent with his approach to marketing. And no doubt it will have a good amount of success. So we're looking forward to that. What is this one here? About pulse burn, I think it is. 155 billion burnt since launch. I have to check on some things. What's he got? Some images here. Total burns, beacon balance. Got the balances of PulseChain. Final balance 135. So that is Richard there being pretty proactive, and obviously we've got the burn stuff here on Poll and Coin lists. They got the burn there. That's the one I was talking about. So 135 matches trillion. That's talking about trillions there. What else we got here? 26. Yeah, also about the containers with all the electronic devices. Going to 503C. And we've talked about that previously. So that is some of the stuff from Richard Hart leading in. So marketing's been a big theme right now. Everyone is talking about it. And of course, these electronic devices, what are they and all that good stuff. So we're going to see where all that lands in due course. And you can check out a discussion I had with a Wild SJ on the Fortnite show. So kind of cool. Right, we're up to an hour on the live stream. Is that a good place to finish? I think it might be. 1 o'clock sounds pretty good to me. Hope you guys have enjoyed our weekly recap there on PulseChain and crypto. So yeah, Bitcoin in summary, Bitcoin looking good, over 100K, 107K, 300. PulseChain there, not quite through the fires yet. We do have good news coming up on the 5th, right? The 5th of July. So that's what, 7 days. Within 7 days, we have got the final appeal process for the SEC versus Richard Hart. So that's coming up in a week's time, basically. So that is pretty exciting. So let's see what that looks like, and whether we see maybe we see a gold mode candle, maybe we see just a general joy in the community, and whether that would be the end of that, and hopefully there's no random new thing that the SEC's come up with. I think it's unlikely given how bad their case was before, and with the direction of where Trump's going with the SEC and the digital support. So I think it's a low chance, but you never know. But anyway, within a week we could be truly free. The final of the final, they say. The final of the final, and that would be good news. So that is coming up, and of course we got the big tax bill, we got the tariffs deals to be done. Everything is looking beautiful. Hopefully we'll get that all signed and delivered, and we start entering the golden age of America. And July is going to have tons of bullish things coming from the Trump administration, especially now that they got rid of the courts. The court oversight in dramatic fashion today. Big victory there for Trump, and of course for any president coming up forward. It's fine when there's a good president, but when there's a bad president, it's not so good. But anyway, so that is kind of where we are at the moment. So yeah, let's see if we can get some capital flows over the next week, and some green candles. We've still got plenty of stable coins, right, to push up the market, and we may very well see some capital flows coming in pretty quickly. $1 million here amongst friends over a 24-hour period. It starts getting us on the right track, doesn't it? And onwards and upwards from there. We got the new monster thread coming out on Monday, or it'll be Sunday, but Monday Kiwi time. That's coming up, and that's going to have all the latest news over the last week. So look forward to that. That's week number 8. Week number 8, a monster thread. Isn't that exciting? MVS Crypto's out there as master editor in chief, working on that pretty hard, and we've got lots of cool things coming up in the future from the Crypto Night Show team. So keep a track out for that as well. All right, shall I finish there? Yeah, 1 hour, 1 minute, and it's a Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're in the United States, I guess you've got Sunday ahead. We are already here on Sunday. It's 1:00 p.m. We're at the front of time, space and time. We're at the frontier. I can tell you that the edge of space looks different. No, I'm just kidding. But that's kind of where we are, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. All right, take care. I'll leave you some. Should we go? We'll play our pump videos because these are pretty exciting. So we'll play that on the way out. All right, take care and enjoy. Let me see here. Oh, if I delete them, I'm on the wrong sheet. Maybe it's this one here. Yeah, this is the right one. So I'm going to play it now. All right, take care. See you guys. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in Strategy Club. Links in the video description. Bye for now.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Sui forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.